Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. The intro was kind of awkward, sorry. I hope my audio is working because last episode near the ending of the video, my audio somehow stopped. I think my headset is the problem because it's all of a sudden it's not picking up sound anymore and I have to unplug it and replug the USB into the computer. Just think my headset is slowly dying. It's probably slowly dying because I've had these headsets for a long time. I think almost 3 to 4 years now. And the headset's also discontinued. It's a Logitech headset that I've been using. I forgot the G30 something. I have no idea, but it's hitting him. It's funeral time. I listen to the sound of its heartbeat against my ear, and slowly but surely my crying dies away. My eyes are sore by the time I finally manage to still the tears. I feel drowsiness descend upon me like a blanket, but I will not fall asleep. Slowly I pry myself from the arms holding me. Hello, my love. I messed up again, didn't I? I do not see the bouquet in his hands, but a journal. One of the journals I brought back for him from Bria. You're capable of a lot more good than I am, princess. Just look at this. He reaches out and touches my necklace. I glance down at it. Yes. My necklace? Oh, yeah, no one noticed that I got another piece. Yeah. You got my journals back for me. I saw them in your room. And I feel it, that this one, the most recently dated one, is the one that I need to unlock my final memory. I grasp the second, incomplete glass slipper around my neck and breathe out softly. Then this really is from retrieving Rumple's journals for him. I got a good deed for finally doing something good for Rumple. Would you allow me to read it with you? He reaches out and gently brushes a tear from my face. You did all of this for me, and you barely know anything about me. That makes both of us. If you wouldn't mind, I want to read out this entry for you. And even though I should be shaking my head, even though I should still be hurt, I cannot stay mad at Rumple. On this night, I am a poor man. Everything that is precious to me has been stolen away by the witch. Rumple's voice catches in his throat as he stares at the words. I look over his shoulder at the journal. Witch, was he already cursed when he wrote this? But I have no one to blame but myself. Bria told me before that I would suffer for my selflessness, and so now I find myself here. And now because of that same selflessness, Bria is sick, and I cannot save her. There is only one thing left to do. I have wronged Bria in so many ways, and now I will give anything that it takes to save her. No matter what price the witch asks, I will pay it. I only hope that Bria can forgive me before she leaves. I will write again when the witch has left. I swear that after today I will change for good. I won't ask the witch to perform any more miracles. Rumple's fingers goes to the page where he softly touches a single word. Its eyes have the glazed look in them that they had before, and I can tell his memories are snapping back together. For tonight, good night, and may tomorrow be a better morning. I read the last word I name with a signature. Rumple reads it aloud slowly. Chevalier. Is that a car? Chevalier Dumont. Oh wow, his name is fancy. Your name is Chevalier. He looks at me, his eyes forlorn, and then, with sadness, he speaks. That's right. Wow. It is so strange. It is just a different name, and yet it seems to change him completely. I remember everything now. I was given the Rumpelstiltskin curse because I sacrificed too much. First it was the boy, the one we saw in the market. I struck a deal with a woman to save him. A witch. He mentioned striking a deal with a woman, but a witch. I don't have the ability to heal. None of us do, except for one particular witch who calls herself the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor. That's who he traded everything with. Is something wrong? That name just sounds so familiar. The Witch Doctor. It's no wonder I recognize the name, but yes, it was her. She promised she could heal the boy, but for a price. I had to give her a family heirloom, my family stethoscope. Oh! Next was a nobleman. I could not help him, so he lay in his bed dying. The witch visited again, and I gave her what she asked for. What did you give her? My engagement ring. Oh. Oh, it's just getting worse now. Bria found out. She told me she'd never forgive me, and then she chased the nobleman to ask for money, so the money we desperately needed. And, well, you know the rest. Wow. He gave away things that were precious to him, all to help those people. So, yeah, okay. Then Bria got sick. I made one last deal with the witch because I was desperate to save her life. But it wasn't until after she healed Bria that she told me what she wanted. She wanted your memories. I don't remember what happened exactly. I think I panicked because I suddenly lost my memories. I ran out into the alleys, bumped my head on something, fell unconscious, and then I woke up here in the tavern and I had no idea who I was or how I had gotten cursed. Rumple. Chevalier. Is that really how you pronounce it? I feel like I'm saying his name wrong. I don't know. Is it Chevalier? Because it reminds me of a car. Chevalier? Pronunciation? It's French. It's correct.
Chevalier, also Chevalier. Chevalier, also Chevalier.
That's a word. Okay, is that correct though?
Chevalier.
Okay, that's completely different.
Chevalier.
Huh?
Chevalier.
Chevalier? What? Is that
Chevalier. Chevalier.
Okay, everyone is saying it completely different.
Chevalier.
Chevalier? Chevalier? It's a wine? Oh, there's a wine named after this?
Chevalier Montrachet. Chevalier.
Chevalier? I have no idea. We're gonna... I deserved to be cursed after everything I had done. I was so selfish and an idealist maybe, but I hurt Bria because I refused to see reality. I still deserve to be cursed actually. But why? Because I am still selfish. Even having remembered everything that made me a bad person, I still desire something. Someone I shouldn't have. My heart plummets again as he looks at me. I still want so badly to forge a future with someone I don't deserve, because what am I other than a poor doctor? I'm no knight in shining armor and I'm no prince. He puts a hand on my cheek and leans closer to me. The distance between us closes in seconds. But still, I keep on dreaming because His fingers gently caress my cheek and suddenly I know what he's going to say before he even says it. Oh, can I tell him I love him already? Is that a thing? Can I do that? Can I do that? But I'm not... Whether you're a Rumple or a Chevalier, if I said that right, you're the same person. You do not need to be a knight or a prince. Because we already had a knight last episode. Kidding. He has no recollection of that anyway. He accepted me for who I was, and he still does. Mother told me that humans were untrustworthy, but... Chevalier smiles at me as he puts... I have no idea if I said that correctly, so please be nice. As he puts his other hand on my back and pulls me closer. The smile is so genuine and so gentle, the same smile I have grown to love. Oh, so cute! Oh my gosh! Whatever words I had been meaning to say die in my throat as he leans forward and gently places his lips on mine. I feel more grounded than I have ever felt before, but I also feel like I am flying. I set my hands on his chest and my fingers and flex my fingers into his shirt. He runs his fingers gently down my face, then down the length of my neck. The kiss feels too short, yet I'm still breathless when damn this word, its name, dang it! Chevalier pulls away from me, just enough so that I can see his eyes. I love you, my sweet princess. For your smile, for your laugh, for the way that you look out for other people. You're bold and feisty and you remind me of a firework. We are beautiful inside and out. The compliment warms my heart in a way that makes me feel like it might be melting. He reaches behind him and holds out the bouquet from earlier. These are for you. You like lilies, don't you? I take the bouquet from him and bring it to my nose. These have always been my favorite flower. How did you know? Chevalier grins at me, and it's so similar to his previous smile that I know he must not have changed. The first time I gave you the white chocolate flower, your eyes lit up. I figured out that Chevalier was perceptive before, but the bouquet in my hands feel all the more meaningful now. Princess, I swear that I want to try and change for you. You should do it for yourself too. Myself? To spoil yourself more too. You always give to others, but don't take for yourself. Now you know what you did, and you can change things. If Bria can, then so can I. Bria. I went and spoke to her when I was in town today, while I was getting the bouquets as a gift for you. We had a talk about moving on. I didn't understand it fully, and I don't think she did either, but we both agreed that we should. So I'm going to change. change what I can, princess. And I promise that I'm going to help you break your curse, just as you helped me break mine. All the good things I have done are for you. That's true. But you've done a lot of other good things too, even if they may not be big enough to count for your 3 good deeds. It just so happens that your curse is very picky. Good things. Even though I'm still current, say more hurtful things than not. I fingered the necklace at my neck and thought, maybe Chevalier is right. Maybe I have changed, and it is good change. I stay close to the Chevalier. I really wish they would lessen his name, because I don't know how to pronounce it. Chevalier, as the night goes on, he tells me a little bit about his past, and I tell him about mine. About Mother in the palace. The night is not one for advice. Just listening. And I remember what Chevalier told me once, that listening can be just as meaningful as advice. That listening to others can help you understand them. And he was right. And he is now mine. Princess, are you okay? Oh, if it isn't the princess, are those dark circles under your eyes for a romantic night out? You were out with someone last night? No, they are from being woken up early by Delora to do chores. Delora grins at me from the other side of the bar, but says nothing as she goes back to a conversation with another boarder. Darling, you are no fun at all. You must tell me what happened last night. Last night? Did you like the bouquet? How do you know about the bouquet? Why, because it was my suggestion. When Chevalier was asking Karma for advice, it was about me. Look at the way she smiled, Denise. Last night must have gone well. I'm confused. What happened last night? I'm going to get Rumpel to give me all the juicy details when he comes downstairs. That is Chevalier to you. Chevalier... I feel so silly saying this word. Chevalier appears behind Karma, smiling. He seems a lot calmer today than usual. He glances over at Karma at me, and we catch each other in a silent gaze. Seeing his eyes remind me of last night, which makes me inadvertently flush. I swear this name kills me. Anyway, I can't pronounce this name whatsoever. Chevalier just winks at me. Chevalier? What is that? Something you say when a person sneezes? No, that's his name. Rumpel, that is, Chevalier, broke his curse yesterday. So he can't, wait, if he broke his curse, can he still stay here? Well, then again, Anise is here, so yeah, I think he can, I guess. There is stunned silence from everyone in the immediate area. Even Delora walks over to us. What's this about a broken curse? Was it you, Rumpel? He's going by something that sounds like a fancy cake. That sounds so true. Her face seems to be bursting with excitement. Though she is her usual calm self on the outside, I can tell by the bounce in her step and by the way she raises her voice to make an announcement that she is proud. When everyone has learned that Chevalier has broken his curse, people come to the table offering drinks and congratulations. Chevalier gets lost in a crowd, mostly of women. But much to my surprise, Chevalier does not flirt back with any of them. And then in between our celebrations for Chevalier, the front door to the merchant opens and Watts rushes inside. Where are Delora and Lady Parfait? I need to speak to them immediately. Watts, you're just in time. Something has happened at the palace. The room goes quiet at Watts' proclamation. A few people shift uneasily in their chairs. Some try to go back to the conversation. Most people do not care what happens in the palace, but they can tell by the tone of Watts' voice that it is bad. What happened at the palace? An uprising. What? A coup, staged by witches. Witches have taken over the palace. The information is so sudden it makes me dizzy. I reach out to grab the table and my hand lands on the wood before I can slip. Witches have taken over the palace? An army of them? No, only a few. Durian strides across the room, followed quickly by Garland. What's this about witches taking over? We have some of the best knights at the palace. There's no way witches could break in under the palace's guard. Unless they had someone inside helping them. Allcaster. No, Myth. Who are we talking about? You know him as Mithras. He uses a different name now. Sir Mithras, the king's advisor? He's a witch? There's no way Mithras is a witch. We would have known. Glamour? He used the glamour. Everything Walt says suddenly gets swallowed up in questions. Duran and Garland ask question after question while others start surrounding Waltz to ask him what has happened to the king and his children. I try to step closer to listen, but I cannot hear over the frantic voices in the room. Sir Mithras. I never trusted him, but I never thought he would be a witch. The room only quiets down when Laura and Parfait come to punctuate the conversation with their own demands for everyone to give Walt space. The marching boarders are all taken into the reception room where Walt stands at attention, waiting to answer questions. He explains that he was looking into a rumor about Sir Mithras from only a few days ago when he found out about the witches' uprising. It was a surprise attack orchestrated by Mithras, who let the witches in through a secret entrance to the palace. Alcastor was killed during the uprising. Oh, whoa, he was? Holy crap! Many knights were injured and are currently being tended to in clinics and hospitals around the town. After his explanation, I feel even worse than I did in the main room. I stare at Waltz at a loss. What of Fritz? Fritz? Sir Alcastor's son. Fitzgerald. He was my personal knight. If Sir Alcastor was killed during the uprising, where did that put Fritz? Was he working with Sir Alcastor or with Sir Mithras? Did he escape? Sorry, Princess, I haven't heard anything about a knight named Fitzgerald. Was he killed? The thought makes my heart plummet. No, Fritz could not possibly be dead. I have to believe that he's still alive. Well, in freaking Claude's route, he was killed instantaneously, like right then and there in my face, and that was very anticlimactic, and I did not like that. I feel Chevalier's hand on my shoulder briefly before it slides off. Are any of the king's knights remaining in the palace? If they are, then they've either been forced to turn against the king or they've been killed. Is Mithras sitting on the throne? No, he usurped the king, but hasn't taken his throne. Watts turns to me and his expression softens. Princess, feel free to ask me whatever you want. I'm sorry I didn't answer all of your questions earlier. I have so many questions, but I suppose I'll ask them one at a time. Okay, I don't know if I should be saving this part or not, so... Save... Chevalier? What has happened to the king and the others? I'm not sure. From what I've heard, the king and his family, your family, are still alive. I never cared for any of my step-family, but hearing that they are okay is still a relief. Mithras may be keeping them prisoners for now. What is that glamour that Sir Mithras used? Dolores steps in to answer the question. A glamour is a high-level magic used to conceal one's identity. It keeps even other witches from sensing you. Parfait cast the same magic on you shortly after you came to the tavern. It was to protect you from the evil witches. The glamour can only be conjured by the powerful witches. It sounds as if this witch has been using glamour to hide himself from others. You know Mithras. It was a long time ago. We both share the same teacher. Teacher? Wait! Waltz, are you a witch? Yeah. He smiles at me, but is weak and does not reach his eyes. Myth was always very competitive. I thought that he had died at the end of the Great War, but he's been in the palace this whole time. His disguise is so simple. I should have realized his name was so similar, but you couldn't have helped it. That's what the glamour does to you. Maybe if I wasn't cursed, if I had more of my magic, I would have been able to sense him. Who has claimed the crown? As of right now, no one. The king's been kicked off of the throne, and Mithras has made a public announcement about usurping the throne, but he does not call himself king. Is he trying to win the throne over for someone? Myth has no one left. He was obsessed with our teacher, but she's gone. He was obsessed with my mom. Weird. Maybe he has different alliances now. Parfait's eyes look distant as she stares dismally down at the ground. If my curse were broken, I would charge in right now and destroy him. Waltz's expression becomes so dark it sends a shiver through me. It isn't like Waltz to look so angry. We need to come up with a plan. Even if you weren't cursed, you would still not be able to defeat Mithras when he has other witches with him. Witches are trickier to handle. You can't just be plunged through with a sword, eh? No, you can't. I agree with Karma. If all of us go in with swords and shields, we should be able to take the palace back. This is what we've been practicing for. Practicing. Even witches will die if you stick a sword through their heart, won't they? But getting to a witch who knows you're there is difficult. I must do something. Well, these options are really weird. I want to help. Can I say that? Chevalier wraps his fingers around my wrist and frowns. Princess, this whole time I have been living at the Marchand. I was spared the fate of the royal family by sheer coincidence because I was cursed. I cannot just sit here and do nothing while the kingdom falls to a witch. I fell to witches before and there were dire consequences. I cannot continue to be passive. I will not let myself be like mother. Yes! Don't be like your mother. Princess, it's... Ooh. I am Michiko Riella Britton, the crown princess of Angeli, and I will not stand by and watch when the kingdom is in turmoil. The room goes quiet at my statement. Chevalier, not Chevalier, yeah, I forgot what's his name. Is it Chevalier? Chevalier? I said Chevalier. I don't know his name anymore. Fingers loosen on my hand. I can see a ghost of a smile on his face, though it underlies his sorrow. Oh yeah, I did it right. Okay. Spoken like a true princess. Whether or not you want to help, princess, you really can't. Okay, you won't be able to use magic until your 18th birthday. That's when you become the barrier. I cannot let that stop me. I will find a way. The conversations in the room continue for a long while. At some point, it is said that the volunteers are needed at the hospitals and clinics for the injured soldiers. Chevalier Amelie volunteers. Only afterward does he look at me with regret. Princess, I'm sorry. For what? For putting my job before you, and after all I just said. He told me he was going to try his best to change. Bria called him selfless before putting his work before her, but you would be a fool not to. My life is not in any danger, and there are people who need you more than I do. Do what you do best, Chevalier. Princess Michiko, I promise you I will do whatever I can to help you as well. As the meeting disbands, I am left standing there in quiet. The last to leave is Waltz, who promises me that he will make things right. I'm going to trust everyone, but I am also not going to stand idle. I will make things right somehow. This is my responsibility as crown princess. Ooh, chapter 9, The Witch Puppet. Waltz? Another long night. Two of us are on our way back to the Marchand after visiting a clinic in town. We were there for hours, and it is a relief to be out in the open now, where I can feel the wind on my skin. Are you okay, princess? I know that what you saw must have been difficult. I'm sorry I couldn't shield you with the majority of it. I volunteered to help Chevalier... I feel like I'm saying whatever. At the clinic part-time, but it was worse than I had expected. Many of the soldiers have severe wounds. I had thought that most of the injuries sustained by the knights during the upheaval were only minor, but I was wrong. Their injuries are much worse. Princess? He reaches out and laces his fingers through mine, then gives me a soft smile as he squeezes my hand. Are you okay? I'm fine. It has only been 1 day since the uprising at the palace. I had thought that there would be less blood. I was wrong. Is this what things were like after the Great War? I wasn't a fully certified doctor after the Great War, but I was an assistant. It was far worse than this, princess. We cannot have a repeat of the Great War. I don't know why Mithras would kill Sir Alcaster and take the throne without claiming the crown, but the witches already have a bad name, and he is making it worse. Can I help but remember the wide smiles Mithras gave me when I was still living in the palace? Every time I felt his eyes on me, I felt there was something strange about him. There was always a cloudiness to his eyes, something unreadable. He was excellent at his job, but always an enigma outside of it. A sudden breeze chills my skin. Let's go back before you freeze out here. The two of us began our walk back to the Marchand. Thoughts of the palace, the king, and my stepfamily cloud my mind. Since I have been staying at the Marchand, I have not seen Rod once. I was never sure if it was because he was ignoring me, or if it was because he only wanted to speak to Parfait. Regardless, I hope Rod and his family are okay. I would never wish this treatment upon anyone, not even to ones I hated. As we walk, I glance up at Chevalier, whose head is tilted skyward. I catch a glimmer of lights in his eyes and smile. Even for just a moment, I can forget about everything when I'm beside him. He has a way of taking the weight off my shoulders. But as the crown princess, I cannot let others carry my burden for me. I must find ways to protect the others, even if it means putting myself in danger, or harming someone in order to protect someone else. What do you think is the easiest and fastest way to kill someone? You just don't openly ask someone that. Chevalier's body goes rigid. rigid beside me. He stopped to stare at me wide-eyed. I'm asking just in case I am ever in danger. I have never fought anyone before. I can retaliate, but I don't know how to actually harm anyone. To kill someone is to end a life. It is stealing away a life that others might love. You bear the burden of that death for the rest of your life. Pull myself away from him. But Mithras is not an innocent man. Would you rather he kill the royal family instead? No, it's not that, princess. I know he must be stopped at any cost. It's just, I would never want you to have to kill someone. How would you know what it was like to kill someone? You have only ever helped people, not hurt them. But he's a doctor. Not every single doctor has saved a life at all times. They have killed some people. You saw the soldiers in the clinic today. You saw how close some of them were to death. Did you see the hollow look in their eyes? I have seen that look many times. It is the look of a man who clings desperately to life. Every life is precious. And life is still a life, whether it's vile or not. It is still a responsibility you have to bear. I know how valuable and fragile lives are, because I have helped so many people. We stand quiet for a few moments, facing each other. I know I am at odds with Chevalier. He speaks the truth, but I also know that I speak my own version of the truth too. The world is a place where only the strong survive. People are kind, but they will take advantage of those who are too caring. Bria told me that Chevalier was so selfless he became selfish. She told me that he never had anything because he gave everything to others. His kindness has hurt others, and I fear that it has a likely chance to hurt him as well. What if his reluctance to hurt anyone causes him to be the one that is injured? Chevalier suddenly breaks the silence. Most people think that the easiest way to kill a person is to stab them through the heart. Those people would be wrong. He puts his hand over his heart and stares dismally down at the ground. He removes his hand briefly and but only to reach for mine. Oh, he's so cute. He takes my hand and settles down his chest slightly to the left. I can hear the beating of his heart beneath my palm. It is soft and gentle. What can you feel besides the beating of my heart? The ribs? Yes, in order to stab the heart, you'd have to get through the ribs. That's why most of the soldiers in there who got stabbed in the chest are still alive. If you want to quickly kill someone, you have to stab somewhere where it would be difficult to stem the blood from a wound. Where's the abdomen? Isn't the intestines? Guys, I don't know my health. Ooh, it's not the neck. We have a neck bone. Right? There are many organs at abdomen, right? And there are no ribs blocking the way. Good guess, but his eyebrows furrow. A person can still survive that kind of wound. Okay, I knew it's the freaking neck. It's a neck. The neck, right? I don't know. The skin. I don't know how to kill someone. Don't question me. The skin on the neck is thinner, and you have lots of blood flow underneath the skin, going right to your head. It would most likely be easier to slice or pierce something more vulnerable in the neck without running into as much resistance. Chevalier raises an eyebrow. Did you happen to pick that up around the clinic? Oh, I should have chosen the neck because of Attack on Titan. They always slit the neck. Oh, I'm so dumb. Didn't use my anime reference right. No, I simply guessed. Then you have a bright mind, princess. Chevalier moves my hand to the side of his neck. My fingers curl slightly when I feel his heartbeat reverberate beneath my fingers. This part is where you can find the jugular vein and the carotid artery. He runs my fingers down the length of it, and I shudder. A mischievous smile brightens his face. Not only does cutting at the neck stop blood from going to the head, but it also makes it spurt. Ew. If both the vein and the artery are cut, it only takes a minute to bleed to death. Thus, one of the best ways to kill a person would be through the neck. Please, guys, don't kill anyone with the neck, because this is not great information to know. We shouldn't ever have to know this. Why are you telling me all this now? I was just enlightening a new pupil with an anatomy lesson. You asked me a question and I responded as a teacher. Chevalier's finger loosened on my hand and I grasped his hand tight in response. Princess, I don't want you to have to bear the burden of a murder. I promise that I'll protect you so you don't have to defend yourself with violence. I can't use a sword or magic and I don't know how to fight, but I will always be there to protect you. I may not have an abundance of muscles beneath these sleeves, but I am a doctor. No one knows a body better than I. So, though it may not be heroic, I know how to hurt a person. Sincere expression, though pained, tells me that he is telling the truth. I don't want Chevalier to hurt a person either. It would destroy everything that he has worked towards as a doctor. He has seen so much suffering, yet always seemed untouched by it. I would do anything I can protect his positivity. And that's really cute. That's where we're going to stop today, too. Right here. Beautiful spot. There were so many thumbnail options I could pick. But obviously, you guys know, I'm probably going to pick the kissing one because it's so cute. But anyway, I'm very happy that we got to this point today. And now we can change the route to Chevalier. And everyone's probably going to be like, well, who the hell is that? But it's actually just Rumple's real names. I keep thinking of the car, Chevalier. But I had to tell myself this is a French name. At least from based on Google, it tells you it's a French name. And I still don't know if I'm saying the Chevalier right, but there's a wine. So if you guys want to go drink him, there you go. If you're, I don't know the legal age for every country. 18, right? America's 21. So I don't know about any other country. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.